If you're new to NBA 2K24 or just somebody that's looking to improve, I have 11 tips that will help you become a more well-rounded and efficient player no matter your skill level, play style, or build. If you want to get better at 2K, you have come to the right channel. Win up to 25 times your cash just with your knowledge of sports. This is only possible with Prize Picks. These are my picks for tonight, and $5 can turn into $125. Prize Picks is super easy to use. You select your players. Let's just do a 6-pick with all the quarterbacks tonight. You then select more or less and then place your entry. It's that easy. So if you get 6 correct, it's a 25x, and even if you get 1 wrong and get 5 correct, you are still doubling your cash. I personally use Prize Picks myself and will be using it all NFL season and all NBA season as well. Click the link in description, use code YoungDirk, and Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Yes, they will match your first deposit up to $100. Do not miss out on this opportunity. Go and get your deposit match right now. Thank you to Prize Picks for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get into it. You guys have heard of hot zones, right? But have you heard of lethal zones? You now have lethal zones in NBA 2K24. Let me show you how to get rid of cold zones and get your hot and lethal zones. First things first, you're gonna wanna open your map and you're gonna wanna go to the Art of Shooting Gym, which is right here. You're gonna walk in and then you're gonna run over to Lethal Shooter, hit A to start drills, and you're gonna select which spots you want to upgrade one. So for example, I wanna get rid of this cold spot. I'm gonna select it so it'll turn to a neutral zone. This is where I like to shoot, so I wanna turn this hot spot into a lethal zone. So once you get a lethal zone, it'll improve your shooting from that spot. And when you have hot zones, it also improves your shooting from that spot. But lethal zones give the biggest boost. And the drill is super easy. You're gonna shoot from each spot. You're gonna call for the ball and just keep shooting till it moves you to the next spot. And once you're at the next spot, just hit 10 shots again. So as soon as you finish the drill, it's gonna upgrade your zones right after it's done. Watch this. As you can see right there, now we got our lethal zone and the cold zone is gone. Unfortunately, you can only do this once per day. So every day, come back, get your lethal zones and your hot zones maxed out. And if I toggle my hot zones right here, as you can see, there is my lethal zone and the cold zone is gone. Tip number 2 is shooting with your visual cue and not muscle memory. Dirk, what is your visual cue? What does that mean? When you shoot the ball, you're holding down X or square and then releasing the button to release the ball. Your visual cue is where you release the ball visually aligned with your player. So for example, on my jump shot, I use push, okay? I use the push timing in controller settings, and I'll get into the controller settings later. I visually know that as soon as my player starts to push his arms forward, that's when I release the ball, and that is how I'm able to green very, very consistently. Let me give you guys an example and show you what I'm talking about. First off, can we take a moment to look at this beautiful jump shot handcrafted by Young Dirky Dirk himself? That jump shot video for all builds will be in the description, so make sure you check that out after this video. But let me show you what I'm talking about, okay? Look where my elbow starts to extend. See where it's fully extend, right there, where it starts to extend out? That's where I am releasing the ball. So that is what I mean by my visual cue. Once I visually see that my elbow is starting to fully extend straight, that's when I release the ball. You need to identify the visual cue on your jump shot. Once you identify it, you will green a lot more and a lot more consistently. I don't think you guys want to shoot like blind Ben Simmons, so please do not use muscle memory to shoot and use your visual cue. Speed boost out of any move. You guys see this looks awful, right? This is how you normally would speed boost in past 2Ks. But now look how I am moving. See how much faster I am? That's because I'm gonna teach you how to speed boost out of any move. Now, if you're a small guard, all you need to do is put on Kyrie dribble style and you're good, but you need a 90 speed with ball. So if you have less than a 90 speed with ball, you need to watch this part of this video. So how you do this is very easy. You're gonna wanna put on Ja Morant hesitation. I think that's the best one to do it with. And let's say the ball is in your left hand and you're gonna flick your right stick diagonally up right to do your size up cross. As soon as you flick your right stick, you're gonna flick it again while holding turbo at the same exact angle. To dumb this down completely, any move you do after you flick your right stick, you're going to hold down turbo and flick your right stick diagonal up right or diagonal up left, depending on which side you are trying to speed boost to. It is that easy. So you're pretty much just flicking the right stick twice. Just on the second one, you're holding down turbo and moving in that direction to get your speed boost. If you still can't get it down, I have a full dribble tutorial in the description which explains it a little better. This next tip will change your life on defense. A lot of 2K players mess this up. Anytime somebody is going to the rim and you are on their side or you are in front of them and you are between them and the basket, do not jump. Do not ever jump. Don't ever do it. I don't care what your friends say. I don't care if you want the block. Never jump. Just right stick up and you will stop anybody, even builds that are bigger than you. Watch this right here. Right stick up, he's on a bigger build, and my boy Twisty gets the lane. Let's watch them again. Look, anytime someone goes to the basket on me or Twisty, we are putting our right stick up, which then puts our hands up, and we will get auto contest. The game will sometimes even block for you, like right there. I did not hit block. My hands were up the entire time. Look at that, bro. I just stopped a center trying to go to the basket on me by just keeping the right stick up. Watch it again. Ready? Right stick up on both, bro. And these dudes we were playing right here were decently skilled, so they knew that they couldn't go up on the right stick hands up defense. The only time you are ever going to jump, this is the only time, okay? This is coming from all the top blocks in the world, all the best bigs. This is the only time you jump. And from your boy Young Dirky Dirk, of course. When you are beat completely and you are trying to get a chase down, that is the only time you are ever going to jump. Of course, there's specific situations on certain players you're playing against that it is better to jump than put your hands up, but we're not going to talk about advanced stuff right now. This is beginner stuff. Put them hands up and only jump if you're trying to get a chase down. Now let's talk about controller settings and settings. You're going to want to turn vibration off. I feel like it's just a distraction and just easier to play with it off. If you are new to 2K, I recommend starting with your meter on, but eventually I want you to turn it off. You get a 20% green window boost if you have it off, so it is easier to shoot more greens. You're gonna want to keep your pro stick function at default. Your pro stick orientation, please keep it on absolute. It is way easier to dribble with this. Make sure it's on absolute and make sure this is on absolute as well. Also make sure your pro stick defense is on absolute. I also recommend turning who to guard off, but you need to pay attention who you are guarding. The reason why I have it off is when me and my teammate switch, I do not get dragged by the arrow indicator. Defensive assist strength, 0 to 20. All of the best lockdowns in the world, the best defensive players, all run anywhere from 0 to 20. I personally like 15. Your shot timing visual cue. In regards to 2K23, it's close to push is late, release is very late, jump is very early, set point is early. I like push, aka late. It's not exactly the same as last year, but it's close to it. If you are new to the game, you're gonna wanna put your pass target openness all the way up. Pretty much as soon as you hit A or X, the computer will identify who is the most open on your team and it'll automatically pass to that person. But as you get better, you want to icon pass only. You only want to icon pass so you can throw them steamers, throw them dots. If you don't know how to icon pass, it is RB or R1. Then you select the icon on who you want to pass the ball to. Make sure your shot feedback is on for all shots. You want this on because if you shoot a jump shot and you miss and it says slightly early, you know that you released it slightly early and you just need to hold it a little longer on your next shot, and vice versa if your previous shot was slightly late. Next tip is super important and it's super cliche, but it's so true. It's to go to the Gatorade facility and just practice. You want to practice your dribbling. You want to practice your jump shot. I still practice a lot, and a lot of people would say I am good at the game, but I don't care. I still practice. I want to make sure I'm sharp. I want to make sure all my skills are up to par. You're going to go to that door that we just walked in. You're going to find your name. you're gonna click LB or L1, pick up your ball, and get to work. Work on that visual cue, work on that shot, work on those dribble moves. Speaking of the Gatorade facility, I can't stress this enough. You want to make sure you are always doing your drills. You get a extra turbo meter, and you can actually get a little badge progress when you're doing drills this year. And if you have a little VC to spend, I would buy jump shot boosts and the rest of your Gatorade boosts for that little extra edge. For this next tip, I want you to put your ego aside. I do this, I put my ego aside. I go on Twitch and watch the top players play, the best players play, the players who are the most skilled. Even though other people consider me comp, that does not mean I'm still not going to try to be the best player I can possibly be. Now, don't just watch to watch them. Watch them to learn from them. See what they're doing. See what kind of dribble moves they're doing. See if they're doing anything unique. See what type of defense they're playing. Learn from them, watch them, and try to implement what they are doing into your own game. The next one, education is free, okay? YouTube is, okay, I take that back. College is definitely not free, but YouTube education is free. You want to look up other tutorials. You don't even have to watch mine. Just look up tutorials and learn what people are trying to teach you. They are literally trying to teach you moves and tips and tricks at 2K so you can subscribe and like their videos. They're trying to make you better. Well, I can't speak for everyone, but I personally am trying to make all of my subscribers better. So if you want to watch my tutorials and tips and tricks, go ahead. And if you want all of all right, you know what? I wasn't gonna give myself the plug, but I might as well. If you want all the meta, if you want all the cheese, if you want to turn into a god, make sure you subscribe to my channel. The next tip, super underrated and not talked about enough, is communication. This is kind of ironic coming from a guy with a speech problem, but communication is key in 2K. Make sure you're always talking. Make sure you can hear your teammates and your teammates can hear you. Talk about what's going on. Rotation, switches, call for picks, tell their teammates what's going on. Communication in NBA 2K is very key. The next tip, and here's my animations free of charge. If you haven't liked already, drop a like right now for the animations of young Durky Durk. When creating a build, and make sure you have a good build, bro. If you don't have one, you can find one on YouTube. I got some and other YouTubers got some as well. Make sure you get the best dribble animations and all the other animations like dunks and stuff unlocked. You do not want to make a build. Let's say, for example, you want Tracy McGrady size up and you give yourself a 84 ball handle. You will be one short of the move you want. That also goes along with badges when you are creating your build. Make sure you are making your build to perfection and you aren't short of any badges that you are trying to get. For example, let's say you're about to finish up a build and you want to put the rest of your stuff on defensive rebound, but wait. You're one short of handles for days gold. See what I'm saying? Make sure you pay attention when you create your builds. And if you want my build, it's on the screen right now. Hope you guys have a good day. Go out.